Hello, and thank you for taking the time to learn more about math programming in Newton Public Schools. The goal of Community Math Night is to build partnerships between home and school to support the success of our students in mathematics. We look forward to sharing with you where we're going in mathematics across Newton Public Schools, why this work matters, and how families can be a part of the journey. Transparency and your trust are important to us. Throughout the presentation, we'll walk you through three main areas: what we've learned from our district-wide math curriculum review, what's changing in our math pathways, and how our data, both locally and nationally, help guide decisions. Now let's take a look at how the middle school approaches one aspect of their daily math instruction. A warm-up is what occurs at the start of class to spark curiosity and reasoning in math classrooms. For these warm-ups, there isn't just one right answer. This gives students the opportunity to discuss and justify their thinking about math with their fellow classmates. It also gives the teacher an opportunity to learn how students approach solving math problems. One of the most important aspects in any classroom is differentiation. Differentiated instruction means tailoring teaching to meet students' different learning needs, providing multiple ways for them to explore concepts, practice skills, and show what they know so that every child is appropriately challenged and supported. Here's an example of what differentiation instruction looks like in practice. We meet students where they're at, offering mild, medium, and spicy challenges so that all learners can engage meaningfully with the same concept. Ultimately, our goal is to build thinkers, problem solvers, and innovators. We're shifting from memorization to deep conceptual understanding, helping students connect math to real world applications. They'll collaborate, communicate, and persevere through challenges, building the skills they'll use in every career. Now let's see what that looks like in action.
At a constant rate of 1 centimeter every 5 minutes.
Wait, do you get to the
Y
next page?
30, and then
Oh,
1 centimeter every 5 minutes would be like,
Oh, yeah.
it's minus.
So
if
it's
we're
see
taking
because
away.
this shows that y per hour.
So it starts at 30, so it starts at a 1 times d of 30, and then it goes,
Wait, no, what is this?
it goes down by 5, 'cause see, 30, I think it's 25, and then 4.
One of the most important teaching tools to help promote lasting understanding of content material in any classroom is helping students see the relevance of the topics. Math has always been the heart of human progress. It has helped civilizations survive, innovate, and connect. From navigating the pandemic to the space race, the structure of modern economies, climate science, and AI, math is the language behind progress. When we provide our students a strong foundation in math, we are helping build the future for all. Given how central math is to our world, we have to ask, are our students prepared? Emerging careers depend on strong quantitative skills. Yet, even as Massachusetts remains a top performing state, many students, especially in underserved groups, aren't meeting grade level benchmarks. Let's take a closer look at our local data. Since 2022, about two-thirds of students meet or exceed expectations on MCAS math. That's strong, but it means nearly a third are still struggling. We also see disparities by subgroup and variations between schools. At the high school level, statistics and probability remain an area for growth. How does Newton compare with other districts? Like most nearby districts, we haven't fully returned to pre-pandemic MCAS performance. This is also true at the high school level. The good news is that AP Math results are rising, and more students across all backgrounds are taking advanced courses because we've removed enrollment barriers. Now let's take a look at how this learning feeds into our multi-year plan. Last year, we embarked on a comprehensive review of our existing curriculum and math instruction. We spent a good amount of time listening and learning to what our students, staff, and families had to say about math learning experience in Newton Public Schools. This year, we are engaged in the search for the best math curriculum and resources to develop an aligned and a strategic approach of math learning throughout our district. Once a new curriculum is selected, we will then work with our math teachers across the district to develop curriculum guides and engage in professional learning to help support a successful implementation. Now we'll dig into what we've learned from the curriculum review. Before we proceed to the next section, we would like to give you the opportunity to ask questions or provide feedback as to what you've seen so far. Simply scan this QR code on your screen, which will lead you to our feedback form. From there, you can provide either anonymous or named feedback so that we can get back to you. In the feedback we collected from students, staff, and families, we identified some common themes. We found that one of the strengths in math education at MPS is our teachers' commitment and expertise in math instructional practices. A large majority of both students and families shared their deep appreciation for the support that MPS math teachers provide them on a daily basis. Additionally, we also heard that in terms of curriculum instruction, there were large inconsistencies across schools that made the coherency of our math programming somewhat challenging. Many students and families also shared a need to increase rigor in our classrooms to support all learning styles. This information helped shape some targeted areas of focus, which include improving alignment by implementing cohesive pre K 12 curriculum, expanding supports for all learners, and investing in teacher learning. Here's what that means for students. In addition to gathering feedback from our stakeholders to help shape next steps, our curriculum review process also consisted of learning walks, which gave educators throughout the district the opportunity to see other math classrooms. We also reviewed curriculum documents, common assessments, and had conversations district wide with math educators as to the coverage of the state math standards in their classrooms. This information produced four major areas of focus. One, curriculum alignment. We need to improve the alignment of math curriculum across the district so that no matter what school or classroom a student is in, they are guaranteed access to high quality curriculum resources and standards based learning. Two, we need to provide students what they need when they need it. Every student learns math a little differently, so our goal is to give students the right mix of challenge and support so they can be confident and successful in math. Three, we need to provide targeted, personalized support in math to all students, and we do that by improving how we understand each student's progress in math so that we can provide them the right amount of support and challenge at every level. And finally, we need to provide high quality instructional resources. Providing the best curriculum and instructional resources strengthens students' understanding of math concepts and contributes to a more engaging and relevant learning experience. Our new math pathways were a direct response to what we learned throughout our self study. Our math pathways are designed to be multi tiered systems of support for students as they navigate their math journey in MPS. Now let's take a look at why these math pathways matter. Just like children learn to walk, talk, and develop skills at different ages, students also progress in mathematical understanding at different rates. There isn't a single right age or one path for learning math concepts. Students benefit from multiple developmentally appropriate pathways that meet them where they are and allow them to grow at their own pace. Math, reasoning, and learning, like physical development, follows a range of readiness and progression rather than a rigid, one size fits all timeline. Here are some key highlights of the new math pathways. One way that we'll be offering more rigor for all students is through the offering of integrated math or Algebra 1 for all eighth grade students in the very near future. We also look to increase targeted support for students who need more time to catch up. A key component of this plan will be the hiring of math specialists for the middle school, and this will be a big part of Dr. Nolan's budget plan this year. We also would like to offer summer bridge programming to allow students to catch up or jump up in the summer months. We're looking to restructure the existing WIN blocks, What I Need blocks, to ensure that they have the targeted interventions in place to help students progress in mathematics. We'd like to increase enrichment for advanced students. One way we hope to do that is by offering an accelerated middle school pathway in the form of an accelerated Algebra 1 in the eighth grade. We'd also like to offer early access to higher level math in the high school. And finally, dual enrollment and advanced STEM options in the high school as well. A big part of the math pathways is having flexible on ramps, making sure that we have the data that we need to encourage students to move up their pathways as they show readiness. And finally, we'd like to expand high school STEM opportunities at the high school by revamping the electives that will match interest and career goals. Now let's take a closer look at what the pathways will look like from the student experience. In grades 6 and 7, all students will experience rigorous instruction with intervention and enrichment supports. They will be exposed to even more pre algebra skills that prepare them for either Algebra 1 or Integrated 1 in 8th grade. Note, currently our high school math departments are discussing which pathway, either integrated math, which is a combination of Algebra 1, geometry, and other math focus areas, and is currently in place, or transitioning to the traditional Algebra 1 geometry and Algebra 2 pathways. More on that soon. By grade 8, all students will have taken integrated math or Algebra 1 and will have the option of taking an accelerated version of integrated math or Algebra 1 with ongoing progress monitoring through STAR, MCAS, and other common assessments. In high school, the sequence continues through IM 1, 2, and 3, and a wide range of electives from pre-calculus to AP calculus will offer statistics, hoping to include financial literacy and dual enrollment options. Please note that the summer jump up programs will also be in place to encourage movement up the pathways during each level of a student's math experience. But as we design these pathways, we also need to address an important cultural challenge, the race to nowhere. Let's talk a little bit about the race to nowhere in math education and what it means. It means the pressure to move faster instead of learning deeply. It creates a culture of competition over curiosity, students and families feeling that they must get ahead to succeed. What we are seeing is growing pressure for students to accelerate too quickly through math courses, families seeking to game the system through outside placement requests or private programs, increased enrollment in outside tutoring programs driven by competition and not readiness, students rushing through course skills and losing confidence, uneven readiness across classrooms, anxiety and perfectionism replacing curiosity and confidence, equity issues as not all families have access to external supports. How does this impact students? We see stress and anxiety for students who move ahead before mastering foundational concepts. We see gaps in understanding that resurface later in advanced math. And we see erosion of confidence and joy in learning math. Here's how the race to nowhere in math education is impacting our overall system. It is creating systemic tensions. Our curriculum is anchored to Massachusetts grade level standards, which are designed to ensure coherence, equity, and developmental readiness. As more students accelerate beyond grade level, the system becomes misaligned, creating a gap between what we're required to teach and what families expect. It also creates instructional challenges. Teachers are being asked to differentiate across an ever widening range of readiness levels, stretching both time and resources. Accelerated pacing often leads to gaps in conceptual understanding for students who move too quickly. And finally, teachers feel pressure to teach above the standards without curriculum materials, time, or support aligned to that level. Our goal is to offer the right math at the right time: depth, confidence, and lasting understanding, not speed. Before we offer you one more opportunity to provide feedback or ask questions about the presentation,